Our planet teems with life. From the highest mountains to the deepest oceans, diverse species have evolved over millennia. They form intricate ecosystems, each species playing a crucial role. However, this balance is under threat. The culprit? Invasive species. An invasive species is a non-native organism that disrupts the new environment that it is introduced to. Most commonly, invasive species are introduced by human activities. They lack natural predators. This allows them to multiply rapidly, outcompeting native species for resources. The consequences are devastating. These invaders can decimate crops, spread diseases, and even alter entire ecosystems. The cost to global economies is staggering, reaching billions of dollars annually. Understanding invasive species is crucial to protecting our planet's biodiversity. In this exploration, we will journey across continents. We will meet some of the most notorious invasive species and uncover their stories. From the tiny Asian tiger mosquito to the common goldfish, their impact is undeniable. Join me as we unravel the impact of these unwanted guests on our planet's delicate web of life. The Asian tiger mosquito is a small but formidable creature. Originating in Southeast Asia, this mosquito has spread rapidly across the globe. Its preferred mode of transport? Used tires. These tires, often shipped internationally, provide the perfect breeding ground. Small pools of water trapped inside offer ideal conditions for mosquito larvae. Once established, the Asian tiger mosquito wreaks havoc. This invasive species is a vector for numerous diseases. Dengue fever, Zika virus, and West Nile virus are just a few examples. Its aggressive biting behavior increases the risk of transmission. Controlling this tiny terror requires a multi-pronged approach. Public awareness campaigns are crucial to prevent mosquito breeding sites. Stagnant water in containers, gutters, and even plant pots must be eliminated. Insecticides are also used, but often have unintended consequences for other species. The common carp is a fish with a complicated history. Native to Asia and Eastern Europe, it was introduced to other parts of the world as a food source. However, this seemingly harmless fish has become a major nuisance. Carp are incredibly adaptable. They thrive in a wide range of freshwater habitats, from lakes and rivers to ponds and reservoirs. Their feeding habits are particularly destructive. Carp are bottom feeders. They stir up sediment while searching for food, increasing water turbidity. This reduces light penetration, impacting aquatic plants and other species that rely on clear water. Their voracious appetite also outcompetes native fish for food. Controlling carp populations is challenging. Traditional fishing methods are often ineffective. Some areas have resorted to using nets or even poisons to reduce their numbers. However, these methods can harm other aquatic life. The red fox is a highly adaptable predator. Native to the northern hemisphere, it has been introduced to Australia with devastating consequences. Its cunning and opportunistic nature make it a formidable invasive species. Initially brought to Australia for recreational hunting, the red fox quickly spread across the continent. Its ability to exploit a wide range of food sources from small mammals to birds and insects gave it a competitive edge. The red fox's impact on Australian wildlife has been catastrophic. It has been implicated in the extinction of numerous small mammal species. Native ground nesting birds are also particularly vulnerable to fox predation. Controlling fox populations is a constant battle. Trapping and baiting programs are used, but the fox's intelligence makes it difficult to eradicate. Conservation efforts are also focused on protecting vulnerable native species through predator-free enclosures and habitat restoration. The American mink is a small but fierce predator. Native to North America, it was introduced to Europe and South America for its fur. However, escaped mink quickly established wild populations, with dire consequences for native species. The American mink is a semi-aquatic mammal, equally at home in water and on land. This adaptability allows it to exploit a wide range of prey, including fish, amphibians, birds, and small mammals. Its presence has had a devastating impact on many native species, particularly ground-nesting birds and water voles. The mink's aggressive nature and high reproductive rate make it a challenging species to control. Trapping and hunting are often employed to manage populations, but these methods can be controversial and not always effective. Conservation efforts are focusing on protecting vulnerable native species through habitat restoration and predator control in key areas. The humble goldfish, a popular aquarium fish, might seem harmless. However, when released into the wild, this seemingly innocuous pet can become a significant ecological threat. Native to East Asia, goldfish have been introduced to waterways around the world with detrimental effects. Goldfish are remarkably hardy and adaptable. They can tolerate a wide range of water temperatures and conditions, allowing them to thrive in environments where other fish might struggle. Their feeding habits are particularly problematic. Goldfish are omnivorous and will consume almost anything they can fit in their mouths. This includes aquatic plants, insects, crustaceans, and even the eggs and larvae of other fish species. Their feeding disrupts the natural balance of aquatic ecosystems, impacting native species and water quality. Preventing the release of pet goldfish into the wild is crucial to controlling their spread. Public awareness campaigns are essential to educate people about the potential ecological consequences of releasing unwanted pets. The small Indian civet is a small nocturnal mammal native to South and Southeast Asia. This elusive creature is often spotted under the cover of darkness, prowling through dense forests and underbrush. It is known for its role in coffee production, as it eats coffee cherries and excretes the beans, which are then used to make kopi luwak coffee. This unique process has made the civet famous, but it has also led to its exploitation in some regions. However, the civet's introduction to other parts of the world, particularly islands, has had devastating ecological consequences. These islands, often with delicate ecosystems, are ill-equipped to handle such invasive species. The small Indian civet is an opportunistic omnivore, feeding on a wide variety of fruits, insects, small vertebrates, and even carrion. Its diet is incredibly diverse, allowing it to thrive in various environments. This adaptability, coupled with its nocturnal habits and ability to climb trees, makes it a formidable predator in its introduced range. Its stealth and agility enable it to hunt effectively, often outcompeting native species for food. On islands where native species often evolve in isolation and lack natural defenses against introduced predators, the small Indian civet can have a particularly devastating impact. The civet's presence disrupts the balance of these ecosystems, leading to unforeseen consequences. It has been implicated in the decline and extinction of several bird, reptile, and amphibian species. The loss of these species can have a cascading effect, further destabilizing the ecosystem. Controlling invasive civet populations is crucial for protecting vulnerable island ecosystems. Conservationists and ecologists are working tirelessly to mitigate the impact of these invasive predators. Trapping and hunting are often employed, but these methods can be controversial and challenging to implement effectively. Balancing the need for control with ethical considerations is a complex task that requires careful planning and execution. The Asian clam is a small but mighty invader of freshwater ecosystems. Despite its unassuming appearance, this tiny bivalve has a significant impact on the environments it infiltrates. Originating in Southeast Asia, this bivalve mollusk has spread rapidly throughout the world, hitching rides on boats, in ballast water, and even on the feet of waterfowl. Its journey across continents is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. Don't let its small size fool you. The Asian clam may be tiny, but its presence is anything but insignificant. The Asian clam is an incredibly efficient filter feeder. It can filter large volumes of water, extracting plankton and other microscopic organisms with remarkable efficiency. It can rapidly consume large quantities of plankton and algae, outcompeting native species for food. This voracious appetite means it can quickly dominate the food resources in its new environment. This disrupts the delicate balance of aquatic ecosystems. Native species which have evolved to coexist in a balanced environment find themselves struggling to survive. The Asian clam's impact extends beyond competition for food. Its ability to reproduce rapidly allows it to form dense colonies that can cover large areas of the riverbed or lakebed. Its rapid reproduction rate allows it to form dense colonies, clogging water intake pipes and other infrastructure. These colonies can become so dense that they block the flow of water, causing significant operational issues. This causes significant economic damage to power plants, irrigation systems, and other industries that rely on fresh water. The cost of managing these infestations can be substantial, impacting both local economies and broader industrial operations. Controlling established populations of Asian clams is incredibly difficult. Once they have taken hold, their removal is a complex and often costly process. Traditional methods like dredging and poisoning are often ineffective and can harm other aquatic life. These methods can disrupt the ecosystem further, sometimes causing more harm than good. Prevention, through careful monitoring and management of ballast water and boat traffic, is crucial to stemming the tide of this silent invader. By taking proactive measures, we can help protect our waterways from the spread of this invasive species. The Argentine ant is a tiny insect with a global footprint. Native to South America, this ant has spread to every continent except Antarctica, hitching rides on human transportation networks. Its ability to form massive, interconnected colonies makes it a formidable invader. Unlike most ant species which compete with each other, Argentine ants from different colonies readily cooperate. This allows them to form super colonies spanning vast distances and encompassing millions of individuals. These super colonies outcompete native ant species and disrupt ecosystems. The Argentine ant's impact extends beyond its interactions with other ants. They are known to protect and farm aphids and other plant-sucking insects which can damage crops and gardens. Their presence can also displace native pollinators, further disrupting ecosystems. Controlling Argentine ants is a complex challenge. Traditional pesticides can be ineffective against their vast colonies and may harm beneficial insects. New approaches, such as biological control using natural enemies from the ant's native range, are being explored as more sustainable solutions. The signal crayfish is a large freshwater crayfish native to the rivers and streams of western North America. Known for its distinctive blue-green coloration and robust claws, it thrives in a variety of freshwater habitats. Introduced to Europe and Japan for aquaculture purposes, it has since escaped captivity and wreaked havoc on native crayfish populations. These introductions were initially intended to boost local aquaculture industries, but the consequences have been dire. Its aggressive nature and ability to carry a deadly disease have earned it a place among the world's worst invasive species. The signal crayfish is not just a competitor. It is a formidable adversary in the ecosystems it invades. The signal crayfish is larger and more aggressive than most European crayfish species. Its size and strength give it a significant advantage in competing for resources. It outcompetes them for food and shelter, driving them to the brink of extinction in some areas. The native species, unable to compete, are often left with no choice but to retreat or perish. Even more concerning is its role as a carrier of crayfish plague. This disease, caused by a water mold, is highly infectious and lethal to many native crayfish species. Crayfish plague is a fungal disease that is deadly to European crayfish species, but doesn't harm the signal crayfish. The signal crayfish acts as a reservoir for the disease, spreading it to vulnerable populations. As the signal crayfish spreads, it carries the plague with it, decimating native crayfish populations. The decline of these native species disrupts the balance of freshwater ecosystems. This has devastating consequences for freshwater ecosystems. The loss of native crayfish can lead to a cascade of ecological effects, impacting other species and the overall health of the habitat. Controlling the spread of the signal crayfish is crucial to protecting native crayfish species. Conservationists and researchers are working tirelessly to develop effective strategies to manage this invasive species. Trapping and removal programs have been implemented in some areas, but their effectiveness is limited. These efforts require significant resources and coordination to be successful. Preventing the further spread of this invasive species through strict biosecurity measures is paramount. This includes monitoring and regulating aquaculture practices, as well as educating the public about the risks associated with invasive species. These are just a few of the invasive species affecting our world. Join us in future episodes as we explore more invasive species.